Willis is really stacking another right hand. Up against the ropes and almost out of
Top with those right hands.
Watch your head, watch your head.
Fast combinations by Andy Ruiz.
The drama surrounding Andy Ruiz Jr. and the fateful clash with Jonty Willis is the kind of story that defines the raw, unforgiving world of heavyweight boxing. From the outset, the tension was palpable, as Willis, brimming with bravado, tried to assert himself with a mixture of posturing and disrespect. His overconfident antics during the ring walk and his pre-fight taunts painted him as the quintessential bully, the kind who believes appearances alone can intimidate a future champion. But the moment the bell rang, it became abundantly clear that Ruiz was no ordinary fighter and that Willis had miscalculated the depths of his opponent's skill, power, and determination. Ruiz, with his deceptively fast hands and devastating punching power, exuded the calm focus of a warrior who had spent years honing his craft in the shadows, waiting for moments like this to assert his dominance. The early rounds revealed a brutal contrast. Willis, despite his size and attempts to maintain distance, was constantly forced into uncomfortable exchanges, each one a reminder that the ring does not tolerate arrogance or underestimation. Ruiz methodically picked him apart, targeting the body and head with a precision that belied his physical bulk, and gradually the facade of Willis's confidence began to crack. Every punch that landed on Willis was a harsh lesson in humility, a reminder that respect in boxing is earned in the ring, not proclaimed in the streets. By the second round, Ruiz had already begun to assert control. A precise combination staggered Willis, signaling that all the pre-fight theatrics had been for naught. The Mexican powerhouse, despite carrying an imposing frame of 255 pounds, moved with agility and purpose, weaving through the defenses of a man who thought he could bully his way into victory. Ruiz's attacks were calculated, ruthless, and relentless, mixing uppercuts, hooks, and body shots to break down Willis's resolve both physically and mentally. The crowd, initially drawn by the promise of a competitive bout, quickly realized they were witnessing the collapse of a bully in real time, a lesson delivered not through words, but through the devastating eloquence of a trained fist. Every round unfolded like a meticulously choreographed lesson in humility, showing the unforgiving truth that size and bluster alone cannot overcome skill, heart, and relentless discipline. As the rounds progressed, Willis's attempts to recover were met with unyielding pressure. Ruiz's ability to control the ring, to cut off space, and to maintain relentless offensive output made escape impossible. Every jab, every hook to the body chipped away at Willis's stamina and composure. By the middle rounds, the damage became visible, swelling around the eyes, bleeding from the nose, and a gradual but undeniable erosion of confidence. Ruiz, far from being distracted by Willis's antics, seemed to thrive on them, channeling his opponent's overconfidence into openings that he exploited without mercy. The fight transformed from a mere contest of power into a study in tactical dominance, a display of Ruiz's ability to blend raw strength with surgical precision. For every swing Willis took in an attempt to intimidate, Ruiz had a counter ready, landing combinations that punctuated the lessons he had learned over years of preparation. By the fifth and sixth rounds, the tide had fully turned. Willis, once the provocateur, was reduced to a man scrambling for survival, relying on clinches and evasive maneuvers that only delayed the inevitable. Ruiz, sensing the weakness, intensified his attacks, delivering body shots that seemed to sap every ounce of resistance from his opponent. The atmosphere in the arena was electric. Every landed punch elicited roars from the crowd, not merely for the spectacle of power, but for the satisfaction of witnessing karma unfold inside the squared circle. What had begun as a contest of bravado became a showcase of discipline, skill, and the unrelenting nature of a true warrior who understands that respect must be earned in every exchange. As the seventh round approached, Ruiz's dominance became undeniable. Willis, already compromised by previous rounds of punishment, struggled to mount any meaningful offense. Ruiz, moving with the confidence of a fighter who had faced greater adversaries and emerged victorious, pressed forward without hesitation. His combinations were sharp, his timing impeccable, and his power ever-present, a constant threat that no dance or distraction could mitigate. Willis's attempts to hold, to shield himself, and to evade were met with persistent, precise pressure.
Every punch told a story, each sequence demonstrating why Ruiz would ascend to the very top of the heavyweight division. The narrative of the fight, previously skewed by Willis's confidence and showmanship, had been rewritten entirely by Ruiz's skill, heart, and preparation.
When the fight finally concluded, it was more than just a win for Andy Ruiz Jr., it was a statement. Willis had entered the ring as the aggressor, the one trying to impose his will through mockery and intimidation, only to be systematically dismantled. Ruiz, through a combination of tactical brilliance and devastating physical prowess, had turned the tables, delivering a masterclass in how the sport rewards preparation, respect, and relentless execution. The victory was decisive, a unanimous decision that left no doubt in anyone's mind about who controlled the ring. For Ruiz, it was an important stepping stone, a moment that showcased not only his physical ability, but also his mental fortitude and strategic understanding of the fight game. For Willis, the lesson was harsh and absolute. Arrogance in the presence of skill is always punished, sometimes brutally, as the narrative of the fight had so clearly illustrated. Beyond the immediate spectacle, the fight also foreshadowed the future trajectory of Andy Ruiz Jr.'s career. The dominance he displayed over Willis was indicative of a fighter capable of scaling highest peaks of the sport. It revealed a man who could balance raw, knockout power with strategic precision, a heavyweight who combined speed, agility, and intelligence in ways few could anticipate. It also underscored Ruiz's capacity to withstand psychological games, to maintain composure under pressure, and to translate every training session, every sacrifice, and every preparation into tangible success inside the ring. The bout with Willis may not have been the pinnacle of Ruiz's career, but it was a critical moment in building the legend of a fighter who would go on to shock the world, proving that appearances can deceive, but results never lie. In retrospect, the fight served as both a cautionary tale and a celebration of resilience. It highlighted the fine line between confidence and hubris, illustrating that disrespect in boxing is never without consequence. For fans, it was a visceral reminder of why the sport captivates, the unpredictability, the raw emotion, and the sheer drama of watching skill and heart triumph over arrogance and bravado. For Andy Ruiz Jr., it was a chapter that cemented his reputation, a fight that demanded respect and earned it in abundance. Every punch thrown, every combination landed, and every moment of dominance reinforced the narrative of a fighter destined for greatness, someone whose name would echo in the annals of heavyweight history. The story of Ruiz versus Willis is not just about a fight, it's about lessons learned, respect earned, and destiny fulfilled. Ruiz's ability to harness power, precision, and relentless aggression turned a would-be humiliation into a defining victory, leaving a lasting mark on the sport and a stark reminder that in the ring, actions speak louder than words. For viewers watching, it's a fight that encapsulates the drama of boxing in its purest form, the rise of a champion, the fall of a bully, and the undeniable proof that true skill always prevails. As we reflect on this battle, ask yourself, have you ever underestimated someone based on appearances? Can confidence and arrogance survive when faced with unyielding skill and preparation? Andy Ruiz Jr. didn't just win a fight, he delivered a lesson to the world. If you've enjoyed this dramatic recounting of Ruiz's journey and want to witness more stories of warriors, triumph, and the unpredictable drama of the boxing world, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think is the next heavyweight star ready to rise? And what lessons from Ruiz's triumph can fighters and fans alike carry forward? The story is far from over, and your voice is part of the conversation.